Rebecca, she owns a company that manufactures office furniture, and she needs to be carefully monitor and manage her inventory, where her inventory consists of raw materials, finished parts, or components that are used to make the goods and services that a business sell, and the finished products that are offered for sales. So for example, inventory at Rebecca's company includes things like lumber, fabrics, leather, screws, nails, glues, partially finished furniture, and finished furniture. Inventory control is about ensuring that you have enough inventory to meet the needs of your companies and your customers. It also involves the accurate monitoring and recording of inventory levels so decisions can be made concerning it. Rebecca has some options regarding inventory control system to employ. Let's take a look at some of them. One option for Rebecca is to use a continuous inventory system, which also known as a perpetual system or a fixed order quantity system. If Rebecca utilizes a continuous inventory system, a record of the inventory level is maintained for each item in inventory. If someone uses a screw, a reduction in the screw inventory is recorded, right? So once an item is in the inventory reaches a certain threshold, the item is reordered in a quantity that maximizes the cost saving. For example, buying in bulks to reduce the cost per screw. A continuous inventory system has advantages and disadvantages. On the plus side, the continuous record keeping means Rebecca will always know the status of her inventory and will know when the trigger should be pulled to obtain more. On the negative side, it can be costly and time-consuming to keep counting of the inventory. Well, Rebecca could choose to go with a periodic inventory system, which is also known as a fixed time period system or period review system. In this system, you count your inventory within a set period of time, such as every Friday or on the first day of each month. Inventory is then ordered at this time to replenish it to the desired level. For example, at the end of the month, Rebecca may find the company only has 1,000 screws left. So she decides to order 4,000 more to bring up the level to 5,000 screws. Periodic inventory systems have advantages and disadvantages too. On the plus side, you really don't have the cost related to recording, keeping, and constant monitoring. On the other hand, you lose some control because you are not paying attention all the time to your inventory. In order to ensure you have enough inventory before the next periodic review, you may end up ordering more inventories than what is really needed, just to be the safe side, which is not an efficient allocation of resources. Since Rebecca is in the manufacturing business, she may opt to use an ABC classification system, which is often used by manufacturers. An ABC classification system basically divided all the items into a company's inventory into 3 categories based upon the relative value of the items. Items in Class A typically constitute between 5 to 15% of the company's total inventory, but somewhere between 70 to 80% of the total value of items in inventory. Items in Class B typically amount to about 30% of all the items in inventory, but only about 15% of total inventory value. Finally, Class C may comprise somewhere between 50 to 60% of the total items in inventory, but only about somewhere between 5 to 10% of the total value of all items in inventory. The level of inventory control for each item in inventories depends upon the item's classifications. Class A items are subject to tighter inventory control than items in Class B or Class C because they constitute a much larger portion of the total value of the company's inventory, and mistakes in measurements are far more costly. Let's look at Rebecca's company for an example. Rebecca may have 5,000 wood screws on hand, a Class C item, several bowls of a particular basic quality upholstery fabric, classified as Class B items, and a precious few board feet of an exotic and expensive South American hardwood as classified as Class A items. So, she imposes a continuous inventory system on the exotic hardwood and other Class A items, where inventories levels are continuously monitored and controlled. On the other hand, she may impose a periodic system for Class B and Class C items, where Class B items like cloth are counted at the end of each work week, and Class C items are counted and ordered on the first work day of each month. Some items like office paper clips and pens may not even be counted, but merely ordered when staff figure out they are about out of stock. Let's review what we learned. Inventory is a raw materials and finished parts or components that are used to make the goods and services that the business sells and the finished products that are offered for sales. Inventory control involves the accurate monitoring and recordings of inventory level so decisions can be made concerning it. Companies have more than one options to control their inventory. A continuous inventory system, also known as a perpetual system or a fixed order quantity system, is where a record of the inventory level is maintained for each item in inventory. On the other hand, a periodic inventory system, which is also known as a fixed time period system or period review system, is where you count your inventory within a set period of time. The ABC classification system classifies each item of inventory by classes with the more high value, low volume value, and more closely monitored than the high value, low value ones. So the ABC classification system divides all the system in a company's inventory into categories based upon the relative value of the items and may use both the continuous and periodic system depending upon the class of inventory involved. As always, if you learned something new today, please give me a thumbs up. And I'm Vivian, and I'll see you in my next video.